They were the smiling faces of a golden era. The original Mickey Mouse Club was a childhood ritual, but time had other plans. Behind the laughter, some faced heartbreak, loss, and struggles no child should ever endure.
Of 7B, we used to call it, at San Fernando Valley Junior High.
They grew up in the spotlight, and some never escaped its shadow. This is the bittersweet truth behind. Tragic details about the original Mickey Mouse Club cast.
That's right! It's time for the Mouseketeers!
Where are the surviving Mouseketeers today? Nearly 70 years after the Mickey Mouse Club first aired, only a handful of its original Mouseketeers remain, and their bond endures. The surviving cast members have gathered publicly just twice, each reunion a poignant reminder of a childhood that shaped television history. The first came in 1980, when 31 of the original 39 Mouseketeers returned for a televised special hosted by Paul Williams. Viewers watched in awe as film montages showed them singing and dancing alongside their younger selves, still full of rhythm, joy, and that unmistakable sparkle. Annette Funicello, the most famous of them all, performed gracefully despite the early signs of the illness that would later claim her life. The second reunion took place 35 years later at Disney's 2015 D23 Expo in California. Hosted by historian Lorraine Santoli, it brought together 7 of the members who were then still living: Sherry Alberoni, Sharon Baird, Bobby Burgess, Tommy Cole, Darlene Gillespie, Cubby O'Brien, and Dorene Tracy. They laughed, reminisced, and sang once more for the fans who'd grown up with them. Today, that number has sadly dwindled. As of late 2025, only 4 of the original Mouseketeers are still alive: Sherry Alberoni, Sharon Baird, Bobby Burgess, and Cubby O'Brien. Whether or not another reunion happens, their shared legacy remains unshakable, a circle of friendship that, after all these years, still plays on.
So we can be good Mouseketeers! Mouseketeers!
He was just 9 years old, small, confident, and already a little too honest for Hollywood. Paul Petersen joined the Mickey Mouse Club in 1955, ready to sing, dance, and smile for America. But only 3 weeks in, his dream came crashing down over one impulsive moment. During rehearsals, casting staffer Lee Travers wouldn't stop teasing him, calling him Mouse, a nickname Paul hated. Finally, the boy snapped. "I said, 'Don't call me that, fatso,' and punched him in the stomach," Paul later recalled. Unfortunately, Walt Disney himself witnessed the whole thing. That same day, he was called into Disney's office and fired on the spot. It could have ended there, another forgotten child actor. Instead, Paul came back stronger. By his teens, he was America's sweetheart, starring as Jeff Stone on The Donna Reed Show and recording hit songs like Lollipops and Roses. But when the fame faded, he faced the same dark struggles so many young stars did. Rather than fall to them, Paul created A Minor Consideration, a nonprofit dedicated to protecting child actors from exploitation and helping them find purpose beyond the spotlight. He turned one bad punch into a lifelong mission to make Hollywood kinder.
Time to twist our mouse dial to the right and the left with a great big smile.
Darlene Gillespie was once the golden girl of the Mickey Mouse Club, a Canadian-born talent whose clear voice and natural charm made her one of Disney's brightest young stars. She performed on the show for 3 seasons, earning U.S. citizenship in 1956 and quickly becoming a fan favorite. But behind the wholesome image, competition brewed. Fellow Mouseketeer Annette Funicello captured the public's heart, leaving Darlene in her shadow. Still, she pressed on, appearing in National Velvet and Dr. Kildare, releasing albums for Disney, and later recording country music under the name Darlene Valentine. Then her story took a darker turn. 2 failed marriages came first, followed by a string of legal troubles that would forever stain her legacy. In 1998, Darlene was convicted on 12 counts, including conspiracy, securities fraud, and perjury, and sentenced to 2 years in prison. "I believe with all my heart that at the end of the day I will be vindicated," she told reporters. But vindication never came. After serving time, she quietly rebuilt her life, working as a nurse in California. Once a symbol of Disney innocence, Darlene Gillespie's life became a cautionary tale. How fame can lift you high, and reality can bring you crashing down.
And in the second place, because people have been fencing for a long time, they just don't whack at each other. It's all very formal.
Johnny Crawford's life was a study in contrasts, from Disney innocence to adult controversy, and finally, to a quiet battle few knew about. At just 9 years old, the son of television editor Robert Crawford became one of the youngest Mouseketeers on the Mickey Mouse Club, but Johnny's natural talent quickly pulled him beyond the show. Within a year, he was appearing in westerns and dramas, earning his most iconic role as Mark McCain, the loyal son on The Rifleman, opposite Chuck Connors. Their father-son chemistry became television gold, the kind that still moves fans decades later. But Johnny's image took a shocking turn in 1973 when he starred in The Naked Ape, a film produced by Hugh Hefner and co-starring Victoria Principal. In it, Johnny appeared fully nude, later becoming the first man to appear completely nude in Playboy magazine. Some saw it as rebellion, others as reinvention. In his later years, the actor channeled his love of nostalgia into the Johnny Crawford Orchestra, performing swing music across the country. Yet behind the scenes, Alzheimer's disease was quietly stealing his memories. In 2020, his old friend and fellow Mouseketeer Paul Petersen started a fundraiser to help, a final gesture of friendship from one survivor to another.
And every day, too, the Mouseketeers will be here. And every day with the Mouseketeers is a different theme.
He was supposed to be one of the first faces America fell in love with on television. In 1955, 13-year-old Dallas Johann was chosen as the very first Mouseketeer hired for the Mickey Mouse Club. But behind the bright smiles and Mickey ear caps, Dallas was hiding something that would end his dream before it began: a crippling fear of performing. Crew members remembered that whenever the cameras turned toward him, he'd burst into tears. At the time, stage fright wasn't seen as something to treat or understand. It was simply a sign that you couldn't handle show business. Within weeks of filming, Dallas was quietly released, and in a twist that must have stung deeply, his own brother, John Lee Johann, took his place. For years, Dallas's name was little more than a trivia footnote, the Mouseketeer who never was, but he never stopped dancing. By the 1960s, he'd conquered his fear enough to appear as an uncredited dancer in Elvis Presley's Viva Las Vegas and Kissin' Cousins, later performing in Broadway shows like The Rothschilds and The Pajama Game. Now living in North Carolina, Dallas still studies theater, proof that sometimes the stage fright doesn't win.
That's what wise men say. Now if you would be beautiful.
Dorene Tracy was one of the brightest smiles on the Mickey Mouse Club, a London-born performer whose charm and energy made her a favorite among the original Mouseketeers. She wasn't just part of the show, she was family. Fellow castmate Tommy Cole once said they called her our Dodo because she was always cheerful, always ready to entertain. After the show, Dorene stayed in the spotlight, appearing in Westward Ho! The Wagons, and later touring to perform for U.S. troops during the Vietnam War. But in 1976, she made a choice that shocked her Disney past. Still working under the company's umbrella, Dorene posed nude for Gallery magazine, wearing nothing but her Mickey Mouse ears. The headline read, "Mouseketeer in the nude, little Dorene grows up." Disney immediately cut ties with her, and the decision haunted her for years. In her 2001 memoir, Confessions of a Mouseketeer, she admitted she'd been swept up by ego and hadn't realized the lasting repercussions. In time, Disney forgave her, inviting her to the 2015 Mouseketeer reunion. her final television appearance before she passed away in 2018 after a 2-year battle with cancer. The black sheep of Disney never stopped shining.
A series we're doing a pilot for our show called The Best Kept Secrets in Hollywood.
Nice segue.
They were Hollywood royalty before they could even drive. Mickey Rooney Jr. and Tim Rooney, sons of the legendary actor who claimed Mickey Mouse was named after him, seemed destined for stardom when they joined the Mickey Mouse Club in 1955. Both boys could sing, dance, and act, and Disney believed their family name would help draw attention to the new show. But behind the wholesome Mouseketeer smiles, mischief was brewing. According to multiple accounts, the brothers wandered into Disney's famed ink and paint department one day, the heart of the studio's animation magic, and decided to have a little fun. They began pouring paints into the wrong cans, swapping colors in a prank that quickly turned disastrous for the artists' painstaking work. When word reached the higher-ups, the Rooney brothers were immediately fired. Their exit marked the end of their short Disney chapter. Tim reportedly never appeared on the show, and Mickey Jr.'s run lasted less than a year. Both tried to build lives outside their father's towering shadow, but family wounds ran deep. When Mickey Rooney Sr. died in 2014, he left his 8 children nothing. Their mischief had long faded, but the heartbreak never quite did.
To twist our mouse dial to the right and the left with a great big smile.
Billie Jean Beanblossom was one of the lesser-known Mouseketeers, a background dancer whose light shone quietly in the corners of the Mickey Mouse Club. Though she only appeared for one season, her grace and rhythm were unmistakable. After leaving the show, Billie Jean stepped away from fame, resurfacing briefly with a dance role on The Muppet Show in 1974. But in 1995, her name returned to headlines, not for a comeback but for a nightmare. While visiting Disneyland with her children and grandchildren, Billie Jean, now Billie Jean Mattei, was robbed at gunpoint in the park's parking lot. The gunman fled with over $1,600 in cash and their IDs, never to be caught. The true shock came afterward. According to Billie Jean, Disneyland security refused to help, detained her family for questioning, and traumatized her grandchildren by allowing them to see costumed Disney characters remove their heads. The former Mouseketeer sued, arguing that her grandchildren's innocence had been shattered. The case was dismissed, the judge deeming the experience unimportant. Still, Billie Jean chose forgiveness. 2 decades later, she returned for the 2015 Mouseketeer reunion, a quiet symbol of resilience from a woman who'd once danced in the happiest place on earth.
This is the way we get to see a mouse cartoon for you and me.
Dennis Day's story is one of the darkest to come out of the Mickey Mouse Club. Once a cheerful Mouseketeer who sang and danced alongside the others for 2 years in the 1950s, he later drifted away from Hollywood's glow, seeking a quieter life. After meeting his longtime partner, Ernest Caswell, in the 1970s, Dennis moved to Oregon, where the two became fixtures at Renaissance fairs and ran a small business selling wine jellies. Friends remembered them as gentle, creative souls living simply and happily. But in 2018, that peace shattered. Ernest, by then suffering from dementia, reported Dennis missing. Police searched the property but found nothing, even though a foul odor had begun emanating from the home. They questioned the couple's handyman, Daniel Berta, who bore scratches and bruises, but was released. It wasn't until 9 months later that investigators returned and made a grim discovery. Dennis's remains were found hidden under a pile of clothes in his own home. Berta later confessed to the killing, and 2 women were arrested for stealing Dennis's car and jewelry. The tragedy stunned fans who remembered him as the boy with the bright smile, silenced decades later by senseless violence.
Today's mouse cartoon is...
Karen Pendleton was one of the youngest Mouseketeers, a 9-year-old with a bright smile, a tap routine, and an infectious giggle that won over Walt Disney himself. With no acting experience but plenty of charm, she quickly became a fixture on the Mickey Mouse Club, introducing cartoons and performing in musical numbers that made her a household name. She later appeared in Westward Ho!, The Wagons, and The Magical World of Disney, proving she had the kind of natural talent that couldn't be taught. When her contract ended in 1959, Disney wanted her to stay, but her father said no, hoping to give her a normal childhood. Back at school, the teasing came hard and fast. They'd say, "Wiggle your ears and we'll give you some cheese," Karen once recalled with a laugh. Life, however, would test her in far crueler ways. In 1983, a car accident left her paralyzed from the waist down. Instead of giving up, she rebuilt her life, earning both bachelor's and master's degrees, and becoming a passionate advocate for people with disabilities and women facing abuse. Karen Pendleton passed away in 2019, forever remembered as the Mouseketeer who never stopped smiling through the pain. The Mickey Mouse Club gave us joy, laughter, and faces we thought would stay forever young. But for many of its original stars, fame came with a price, one paid in silence, heartbreak, and time lost to the spotlight. Still, their legacy shines through every rerun, every song, and every memory they left behind. Which Mouseketeers story touched you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you love uncovering the real stories behind Hollywood's most beloved stars, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more. Thank you for watching.